everyone, Gigs here once again to take you on another tour on Constantiam. So today I am back on the May 2016 download that I used to show off 400 base, and I thought I would take you around the spawn area. I've taken a little bit of a scout around to see a couple of bits and pieces if I could find anything to show off, and of course obviously here I am at the nice flowery spawn area. That's it, Constantiam actually had a flower forest at spawn. Pretty cool for someone who likes flowers, which is me. But that's not what you all came to see. You didn't come to see flowers, you came to see that. The cobble monsters. Yep. Even in May 2016 there were cobble monsters. So, there they are. Now I'm going to scoot over to 00 in a second, but I found something that made me laugh, and I'm hoping it also makes you laugh. Now I have the chords, so I'm going to TP to it, so we will go TP negative 1101 73 negative 7 376. And what made me laugh is this. This has got to be the view that so many people on Constantiam have seen as they escaped spawn. Their little hidey hole on top of a tree with some dirt to escape from the mad mobs that we have. So, not a great big elaborate build for me to show off, but definitely made me laugh when I saw it. So, let's head on over to 00. I think I need to go up to 1110. Because if I go any lower I will end up in a cobble monster. So from now, I'll get this right, I called him Mr. X in the last video, but it's actually MRX. So from MRX's history post, apparently the 2Bers were the ones who did the first cobble monster or lava cast at spawn. Obviously this is slightly further on and they have done a few more. So you can see not huge numbers, but definitely a few. There were a few more than this when I came through spawn. I had to navigate, I think there was like almost a boundary around there, but they didn't even reach as far as 400 base. I was again able to get to 400 base and grab a couple of bits and pieces before I headed into the nether to disappear. You'll even see over here, this is obviously after they'd been to the end, because there's some end stone on this one that they were starting to do. Now over here is what I suspect is one of the very first griefs of a build on Constantiam. So a little mini lava cast, teeny tiny one, destroyed someone's home. Yep, it's official. The 2Bers came over and griefed someone's house. I don't know. But in saying that, this person built within 100 blocks of spawn. They didn't go very far out. But as we sort of said in the last video, the initial people who joined the server, it would have been brand new. There would have only been a couple of them on. They probably never would have thought that a group of people would have come on and wrecked stuff. And as you can see, it's definitely been a bit of effort going into the cobble monsters, but not huge numbers at this point in time. The guys had only been on this server would have been a couple of months at this point in time, or actually only about a month, 6 weeks, a month, 6 weeks. So, and this is what they had achieved. So, the other things I wanted to show you, there's a couple of, not so much builds, but I do have a nice build at the end to show you. So, I'm going to TP around because otherwise there'll be lots of cutting and pasting and bits and pieces. So, I'm not afraid to show chords because these places pretty much don't exist anymore. So let's head on to TP2 here. Now this one, oh, what did I do wrong there? Oh, PT. TP. And a little house. Again, a very close proximity to spawn, actually close proximity to the 400 base. I'm guessing this was an unfinished house. It looks like someone was in the process of building it. I don't think it's been griefed. I think they just started putting their roof on. Now whether or not this was one of the original inhabitants and they started building but just then never completed it. But nice little spawn house. Very nice. Pretty sure this area is all covered in cobble at the moment, so there's definitely nothing left of this build at all. The next one I'm going to show you is even less of a house than this one is. It's completely almost all gone. Now, and I suspect that oops, I suspect that I got that wrong. Here we go. So this one here, I suspect someone had started building something, and it's been taken down, or they had only just started to build it and that was it. But given that they were doing this in stone brick, it makes me suspect that someone's actually dismantled it, because there's no furnace here, there's nothing to show how they were making the stone bricks, and given this is early days and they would have had to use probably a stone or iron pick, they wouldn't have been able to create these stone as easier, no silk touch, anything like that. From looking inside this chest, these are just mob style drops, so yeah, but we won't stay here because that's not very exciting. What I did want to show you is a little spot that I have discovered before. Ta-da! A village. And yes, it's within 1k of spawn. Now this village actually, I am sure, is a village that I came across about 8 months ago near spawn, when the 1k lava cast went up, when Dot put it up. I went out to the corner of it, and obviously not in the state, but there were remnants of village house roofs, some cobble and some glass. So I imagine it's not there anymore. There's been so much activity at spawn of late. I imagine it's been totally destroyed and people have taken all the blocks that were there. But there was remnants of this village near spawn up until that recent. It's kind of cool that, yeah, when I saw this, it was like, oh, I remember seeing that. Pretty nice. See some villagers running around here. They probably weren't running. They may have generated when I've come into here. They may not be. Villagers have been there way back then, but who knows? Maybe this village was... I mean, I can't see that the doors are open because I opened the doors myself. But things like the bookshelves still being here makes me think that, you know, nobody had actually found it at that point in time and it was left untouched. So there we go. Maybe that's why it survived so long at Constantiam spawns, because not everybody found it. And once the lava cast went up, people were starting to just sort of run straight out of spawn, and that was it. So my next thing to show you was, again, another beginning of something that might have been someone's build. Oops. Yeah, I'm not used to doing this TP thing. There we go. Oops, I've fallen down. So again, within the 1,000 block range of spawn, someone was doing quite a bit of excavating, a little bit of fencing. So I imagine that this was the beginning of a build for someone. Again, whether or not it was one of the earlier players or one of the lot that came from 2B, I don't know. There's not a lot of people about that are able to tell us some of these details, but it definitely looks like someone was going to a bit of an effort to build something. They were even filling in the bottom down here. So this was obviously all going to be covered in. So shame that we don't get to see what they were envisaging, but still pretty cool. I don't know if any of this existed up to a certain point of time. I haven't been, it's not a structure that I remember, but I don't know. I know that even again, 12 months ago, there were a lot of little structures or ruins of structures around spawn that have since been destroyed or covered in cobbles, so who knows. But what I do else, so my last visit for you for this is, I think I'll TP to it because I think it's over there, but I could end up flying in the totally wrong direction and get lost. So TP 755, 75, 300. Oops, not 7,000. So again, within that sort of close range, and here we go. Someone had built a very nice setup here. So again, May 2016, server had only been up and running a few months, and people were on building really nice things. So this, I thought initially might have been some sort of breeder or something like that because I saw the villager up there. But now I'm thinking this might actually be a mob farm. So Mr. Villager up there attracts zombies. They come over to get him. They're in the water. And they go floating in the middle. And plonk. All ready to be killed. That's actually quite I've never seen this before as a setup. It's actually quite a clever design. I never would have thought of doing something like this. People are clever. So here we have, oops, I'll go through them. Okay, here we go. So here we have their farm set up. Obviously breeding the cows and pushing the babies off down the bottom there. Bit of sugar cane. I don't know if there'll be anything in these chests because, oh, yes we do. Oh, this person had a diamond helmet. They were doing well. Ooh, diamonds. So obviously this person had been to the end, maybe, because they had end pearls. Potions, so they were a potion user. So exciting to look at other people's chests to see what they're storing. So yeah, these are all early day style chests, nothing. I mean, the diamonds alone are riches. So melons, pumpkins. I like the use of the redstone lamps here. Wheat and carrots. Very nice. And in the middle here, we can head on down. We've got their bed and their e-chest set up there. And this is, oh, where the zombies came down to, or the mobs came down to be killed. So you would stand here, the villager would attract them, and you could kill them down here and get XP. Very nice. It didn't even have a hopper set up for it. So it would have just been, maybe there was a chest there earlier on, that might be what that gap there is. They were just killing the mobs and picking up the drops. That's actually a very clever setup. Given the amount of mobs that spawn on Constantiam, I'm guessing this is, yeah, just a mine. Given the amount of mobs that spawn on Constantiam, maybe this was a more effective way of getting XP and getting drops than using a spawner setup. To know. Definitely quite a simple setup if you can grab a villager and chuck them in a box. Was one of those potions a splash potion of weakness? Oh, where were they? Yep. So they converted that from a zombie villager. Very clever. Wow. That is it for this little tour. I hope you have enjoyed being able to see some of the little bits and pieces around Constantiam and Constantium's spawn in May 2016. I appreciate you tuning in to watch my videos. I will have more tours coming up. I have a few bases in mind that people have passed on to me, and I look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day.